Hello
Hi.
for today's episode.
Very excited. We're going to talk about some unconventional things because I feel like we both have very much the same opinion on a lot of it, but it's like not the common opinion on it. And before we get into it, make sure you hang out with us on Instagram at socially unfiltered pod. And that's it.
Let's get it started.
Ah,
Let's
let's
get
get it
it started.
started in
Yeah.
here. All right,
Kick her off. Which one we talking about first, baby?
let's talk about weddings because I don't want a wedding. And I feel like that's not normal. Like I just feel like every girl I know like grew up like
Dreaming of.
yes, and has like a Pinterest board and like
Yeah, no, I never.
mm-mm.
I never grew up like being like, oh my God, my wedding one day, my husband, or like having this dream wedding. And like, I just wasn't one of those people. And it's not to say I'm like better because I didn't do that. Like, I know so
No.
many people like dream of that and want that for themselves and like
Mhm.
happy for you and love to go to weddings. But I never wanted that.
Yeah,
Like,
invite me to your wedding.
yeah, I'll come party at your wedding, but I never wanted that either. But also, like, I don't even think what I want is considered like a wedding either,
Mm-mm.
because I literally only want like very, very close friends and like just our immediate family. Like, that's it. And
Yeah.
it's not, I don't think that's really considered a wedding. Like, it's
No.
more like a dinner party.
Yeah.
I want to have a dinner party. I want to like get drunk. I haven't even talked to you in 5 years.
Oh yeah.
And I have to pay $200 for you to come eat at
No.
my wedding.
Sorry. And I love it for people. I mean, I was just at that wedding last weekend and it was beautiful and it was gorgeous and it was like on the beach. Like it was so cute. But like even just like seeing the aisle set up, I was like, I just don't ever want to like walk down an aisle.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want, like, a bridal party. I want, like, one step up from an elopement.
Yeah, same.
And I think I told you in Colorado, your dog can be your witness. So, like, we could literally take our dogs and just, like, sign the papers, and, like, that's a legal marriage.
Splurge on the photographer, splurge on your
Exactly.
vacation, splurge on your honeymoon.
For the stuff that you get to keep,
Yes,
like
and
the
remember
memories.
forever.
Yes.
No one's really, and like, I'm not trying to shit on weddings because I know so
No.
many people, but this is like my personal opinion of what I would
Yes.
not want to spend my money on.
Correct.
And happy for you if you do that for yourself. Like, literally no hate at all if you're
Mhm.
happy with it, because like weddings are fun. But us personally, I think we
I
both
couldn't.
agree we're like, I'd rather like buy another house. That's just how I think. I don't know. I'd
Yeah.
rather like go on a 3 week long honeymoon and just like be able to have those memories. And because everyone you talk to that gets married, they're like, oh my God, you don't even remember the day. Or
It
like,
goes so
I don't
fast.
remember anything.
I
You're like
didn't get to
constantly
eat.
on the move. You don't
Mhm.
eat. You have to talk to all these people. You don't get
Yeah.
one time. Like if I'm marrying this person, like I'm trying to spend the whole day with
Like,
them.
that's
And yes, it's my day. It's not
not to entertain other people.
yeah.
Which again, no hate to anybody that wants to do that. But even like for me, like I couldn't really even imagine like my entire both sides of my family being in one room together because that has never happened ever. And like the thought of having to like figure out like, oh, okay, like this person can't be next to this, which like that's just like my own personal problem with like how messed up like my family tree is, but like it's still like that's so much stress. And I feel like every bride I know that is planning like this huge wedding, like you're just incredibly stressed. And again, like if you want to put yourself through that, I love that for you. But like I would have a mental breakdown, I think.
Yeah, some people like live for that
Hmm.
and have literally planned it in their head their entire life.
Yeah.
Or like have been dreaming of it. Like they start planning the day after they get engaged. Like I've always said, I wouldn't even mind just like being engaged for a long time and just like
Literally.
enjoying that. Like I follow this YouTuber and she just got engaged and she's like, it's just so crazy. Like we want probably closer to like a 2 year engagement.
Hmm.
And she's like, we're not planning anything right now. We don't even know a date. And like the second you do, people start like questioning, like, where are you getting
When's
married? When
yeah.
is it? Like, can we just enjoy a moment for a
Hmm.
hot second? It's like anything though. I feel like like when are you getting pregnant then? It's after you get
It's always
married. What's next? And then after like two, they don't give a fuck about
no,
the wedding.
literally. They're like, oh, you have
Go on to
a
the next person to harass about
Mhm.
it. But it's yeah, people are just constantly like on this timeline or like this checklist of life
And
where
it
like
doesn't
I have to have
have to
this wedding,
be.
I have to have that, it has to be perfect. Like
And I just have no interest in like being in the norm, like being like on that like normal checklist. Cause like we've even said like we can like go sign the papers and like do our own like little tiny thing and then have a party like either later that day or like a year later, like whatever. It doesn't have to be like mhm. 'Cause like even like my dream would be like there's this place called Asheville, North Carolina, if you've ever heard of it. It's like this tiny little mountain town, and they have like campsites that are like cabins, but you can rent out like the entire like 10 cabins next to each other. And I'm like, I would literally be able to put like 2 to 4, like 1 or 2 couples like per cabin. And it's like we rent out that whole thing and have like a weekend there. And like that's our celebration.
I love that so
Like I've always wanted to do that.
yeah. That's all I would picture too. Like, not
Mhm.
if Mark and I have said it probably won't be in New England.
Mhm.
Like, it probably won't be in Massachusetts, probably won't be in New England. Don't know where, but like somewhere of just
Around.
like a weekend
Mhm.
somewhere for people to like relax and get away. And it's not like, I don't want the fucking bridesmaid shit. I don't want people
No.
to buy dresses or spend a ridiculous amount of money, get
No.
shit altered,
I also
buy fake
change
shoes. Like, I don't want that for people. Like,
it's so much stress for people that you're
I
asking to
chose
be
to
at their
do this,
wedding.
and why am I forcing you now to spend your life savings?
Mhm.
Like,
I also like change my mind so much. I feel like I'd like decide on something. Cause like even like your dress, like you have to get that like months in advance and then you go in for like your final fitting. Like I just know when I would go in for that final fitting, I'd be like, I want something else. Or like I would find something else after I bought the dress.
that like you zip something off and
No,
it becomes a
literally.
new dress.
And like I love that vibe too. Like when people have like this is my ceremony dress and then they change into like a cute little like sparkly white jumpsuit with sneakers like for the reception. Like I love like having like the multiple looks of it.
But then again, I don't love it if you're spending so much money on your wedding dress because I'm like, if
Exactly.
I'm spending all this money to wear it for one day,
Oh,
when am I going to wear it again? Why am I going
right.
to change into a second outfit that like I can just throw sneakers on instead or
Mhm.
something? Because like you want to buy a dress that's comfortable.
But we've also talked about too, like if I would literally wear it for like a month straight. Like I'd like run errands like in this dress to like justify the price of it. Not that everything has to be expensive to be nice, but even like a couple $100. I'm like it's hard for me to like justify something like that, like knowing I'd only wear it one time. But we've also talked about like it's not like either of us have the traditional families because like traditionally it's the girl's family's responsibility to pay for the wedding. Like that's just like the American tradition of it. And, like, I don't have that. Like, I don't have a family that's about to shell out, like, thousands and thousands of dollars, like, it would be us paying for it.
I was paying for it. Like I was single mother. Every time I
Mhm.
like thought about that, I'm like, I just like would never want to put my mom through that
No.
like ever. And
Mm-mm.
I would never do that. But even if I had like two parents, I don't know that I would want because even nowadays, like everything is so much fucking more money. Like a
Yeah,
wedding that I think you could have gotten 3 years ago or like 4 years ago for like 50
totally
grand is
different.
probably like 80 to 100 now.
But, like, even now, it's, like, 25 grand just to rent the location.
Yeah.
Like, a
It's
venue
30
itself.
up. Like
Yes.
it's not included anything. So
Mhm.
you can't even be like, oh, I only have a budget of like 25
No.
at a venue at least. Like
Yeah,
if you're doing it in like your backyard or like
right. Which, like, even that I think is cute. Like, if you have somebody who has, like, a backyard that you can use, like, I think that's cute too. Like, it's not even that I'm, like, hating on, like, the expensive and, like, lavish weddings. It's that I just have, like, no interest in the planning of it, and I'm such a planner, so it's weird. I think I'd be really good at planning a wedding, but, like, I just have no interest of, like, again, figuring out a seating chart and, like, okay, we have to send out these so everybody can tell us, like, what meal they want, like, any allergies, this person can't sit next to this person. No.
I want like a taco bar
No,
with like
literally.
margaritas.
Yes, a
Like
margarita station, a taco station,
yes.
a donut bowl,
Uh-huh.
and that's it.
Yeah, like
That's our
espresso
wedding.
martinis.
Because even like the cake cutting, like and I don't want to ever kiss somebody in front of my whole family. It like gives me the ick. Like I don't have any interest in doing that. It's like we were even just talking like to have a wedding video, which like this is no hate to any of like the professional wedding videographers or photographers. Like I think you absolutely deserve to charge what you charge, but like 10K for a video for that day, like That's insane to me, and that's something that I wouldn't, like, not want to have. Like, I want, like, 5 shooters there, like, getting every angle of it, and that's, like, 50 grand, like, if you want that many people there shooting for you.
I mean, a team of four from a wedding that I was in was like a little over 10 grand. It was two photographers, two
Mhm.
videographers. So like it is possible to have like maybe 10, 15 grand and have four people that you
Mhm.
like get all the angles. And it was kind of nice because like they could be with both parties at the same time. Like
I
one
always wonder
videographer,
that
one
too.
photographer, so they don't have to run around like back
Right.
and forth and they could be there for the moments.
Mhm.
But like I don't even need like pictures getting ready. Like, when are you going to use those? When are you going to use the pictures of like me getting my hair done, me getting my like makeup done? Yeah, don't take anything we say too seriously because like neither of us are engaged.
No, I know,
So
we're over here
we're
like,
just
I
like,
can't
yeah,
stand when people plan
we're like,
weddings.
yeah, I have never like wanted to.
But, like, I just it's weird because I've never been like that, like, even from a kid, like, I was never, like, planning my wedding in my head, I've never heard a song and been like, "This is gonna be my wedding song." But I
Pinterest board never
no.
had like anything.
If I was, like, genuinely plan the wedding of my dreams, though, like, everything would be black and it would look like a gothic wedding. Like, even then,
Do
it's
it on
like,
Halloween.
"Oh, I would."
My friend's parents got married on Halloween. Like, you would never think that they got married on
They're,
Halloween.
like, helping people.
And so they had like the normal wedding, and
Mhm.
then for the reception, yeah, the
Mhm.
reception, they all changed into Halloween
Oh
costumes.
my
I think
gosh.
she was like um, Frankenstein's bride, and
Wait,
he
that's
was like,
so cute.
it was so cool. I need to see pictures from it because like then everybody changed into
Yeah.
their Halloween costumes.
See, like, I love that, like, that's something, like, totally not normal, like, out of the norm. Maybe if we just book a venue, it'll happen. Book some hair and makeup. I would wanna get married in the fall, though, like, September or October, if I were to do, like, a wedding.
I do summer, I'm
No, I
sweating,
would
dying.
sweat my entire
Like wherever it could be the summer for like going somewhere else.
I mean, it's September in Dallas right now, and it was, like, 102 yesterday. Oh my god. Oh, he just shut up there.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, buddy.
Dad!
Hello.
Aw. We can see this balcony from across us, and the guy just let his dog out, and then yeah, he shut the door, and we can see him, like, peeking through the blinds, like, at the dog.
Benny.
I know, we miss our dogs so much. I'm like, "Ethan, send me pictures, please."
Literally been talking about our children for so long.
I know. That's all I've been thinking about.
Every day.
Speaking of children, good little segue there. I don't even know if I want them either.
I'm so back and forth.
Same, every day.
Again, I never growing up was like, I can't wait to be a mom. And I know
Mhm.
so many people are like, I was meant to be a mom. Like I
And I
knew that
love
that's
that for those
to my
people.
core. Like that's what was gonna like be in my cards. But I've never like had that either.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know, I still go back and forth, but I also talked to my friend who was like, I really didn't want kids until I like got engaged and married. And then she was like, then it really felt like I wanted them.
Mhm.
And she's like, then I had it. And she's like, it's so much different than like when I was babysitting and stuff. Because like
Yeah.
I love being like an aunt and I love babies, but like toddlers literally are built different. Like I
And
don't know
I
if I
am
could do
not.
it. I don't think I'm built for a toddler.
I don't
Like
either.
if I could just hear somebody else take over that.
Like the requirements that I have if I do ever want a kid is like we need to be able to afford a nanny full time. Yeah. Low key, I want a surrogate. Like
No, I always say this.
me
I'm like,
too.
yeah, I'll be happy surrogate. Thank you from all the horror stories I hear.
Yeah, I'm just scared of being pregnant, honestly. Like I'm scared of giving birth. I'm scared it's gonna hurt. Like I'm scared. I mean, clearly people do it and then they do it again, so it can't be like the most traumatic thing you've ever gone through if you willingly choose to do it again.
Yeah.
But I just like hate the thought of being outnumbered.
I only want one child. But
Yeah.
then again, people's minds change. So, like, it could always be, we
Mhm.
can always change our minds, and that's okay. So, like, what we're saying right now could be like
Different
how we
literally
feel.
tomorrow.
Yeah, how we feel right now, and that's okay. But if we're like one day, oh, I could have a kid, or like, oh, I
Mhm.
could have two, definitely not more than that.
I've only ever wanted one. Like I've never
I mean,
seen
I'm an
myself.
only child, so when I hear, like, we were just talking about this last
Mhm.
night, when I say, like, I think I would be good with, like, one, people constantly are like, well, no, you have to give them a sibling, or like, you and your husband will have two hands, like you, or four hands, you can both
Mhm.
have a child. Like when people say that to me, I'm just like, it's kind of a jab because I'm like, I'm an
Yeah,
only
I
child and I'm
know.
good. Like I'm
You're like, I
thriving.
didn't turn out weird.
No, I'm like, I didn't need a sibling.
No.
Like, and I was happy like not having. I think I wanted siblings like a few times in my life, but then I grew up and I was like, oh, I love like just me and my mom and just like
Yeah.
it was nice. Like I actually don't think I would go back and like have a sibling because I had
Mhm.
friends and cousins and that's the thing, they have family.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, as long as you're good about like socializing your child and like not just like locking them home away with only you, that's one thing. But like, if you are willing to like put them into other activities and like not even like daycare, but like a place where they can like play and like interact with other kids, like I just think there's like such a stigma that like only children are weird and like they don't know how to share like as children and stuff, which like low key I would have loved to not have to share anything that I had, but like because my sibling situation is weird too. Like I have a sister that's 5 years older than me, and then there's 10 years between me and my younger sister. Like I was so, I don't want to say grown because I was still a child, but like there was such an age difference between me and my younger sister that like I obviously see my little brother and sister as my siblings, but like it's not the traditional like we like grew up playing together and like did everything together because like I was literally in middle school when she was born.
Yeah,
So
such
it's like,
different phases of life.
yeah.
Different. And even like my mom having four, I'm like, are you okay? Like, how did you do that? Because
Oh, Mark's mom too had four kids.
Mhm.
It's crazy. I like truly don't know how people do that. Like I'm good with a kid and a dog.
Yeah.
Like I truly think that in my core I could only do it probably one time.
No, same.
Unless I literally have the most fucking magical pregnancy in the
Which like
world.
some people do,
And
some
some people
people
do, but like I
love.
really don't think that's in like
I know. I just know
that's
I
not
would
too
have
much shit for me to have an easy pregnancy.
That's what I was just gonna say. As I was like, by saying what I'm about to say, I'm not trying to like put this energy
I
out there and be
know, I
offensive, but like
know.
I know for a fact I would have every complication you could
Same.
possibly have.
And like be sick.
yes, we even just talked about this last night. Like, as a child, like my mom always told me I don't ever see you having kids because like even as a kid, like you weren't like carrying around a baby doll and like playing mom. Like you were like playing with like stuffed animals.
Yeah, I don't remember ever really playing with,
Like baby dolls.
no. But it's funny because I've always been a babysitter, like,
Mm-hmm.
because I can give them back. Like,
Literally.
I do enjoy like being around kids,
Yes.
but I give them back and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm exhausted now. Like, I
I
can't
know.
imagine doing this
I
like
know.
24/7. But everyone just always says, they're like, it's so different when it's yours. Everyone always tells you it's different when it's your own. And I guess it makes sense because it's like you and the person you love and it's a combination of you. And like, I
And
think
that's
that
cute,
is
and I would
fucking
love
cool.
that.
It
Yeah,
is
I mean,
cool.
genetics are like so wild to
Yeah.
me.
Like,
Like
it
when
is
I
sick that you can just like,
procreate,
yeah, like, like
like
half
it's
of
so
you.
weird. Yeah, it's
It's
weird.
wild.
And the fact that like we grow it from scratch, like your body has everything it needs to like create a fucking human, that's wild.
It's actually insane to me. But I love the idea too of like when they're older, like it's so much fun when you're
Having like a
like,
friend,
yeah,
like that's yeah.
like
But
you're,
that's so far away.
I know, it's like a long
And there's
time
so
to
many choices you have to make up until then.
this.
Like,
Do you put them in public school? Do you not put them in public school? Do you not let people share pictures of them on the internet? Do you like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many choices that you have to make surrounding it. Like, we just talked about it last night, where it's like, even before, if you go about things, I don't want to say there's a right or a wrong way to do it, but like, ideally, you would want to have a lot of those conversations with your partner before you have a child. And it's like, okay, like, what's our plan for like disciplining? What's our plan for like, do we make everybody sit at the dinner table every night? Or is it because like Ethan and I have talked about this? I had such a weird relationship with food growing up that like I'm glad that my mom wasn't like, okay, dinner's at 6 o'clock. We all sit at the table together. Like, my family was very like buffet style, where like my mom would make dinner and like it was on the stove. And whenever you were hungry, you came and got food. And like, I know that they say like, oh, like families that have dinner together are like closer and blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't like the idea of like forcing a child to sit at a table and eat if they're not hungry. And then I also can't get behind like, well, you didn't eat, so you're going to bed hungry. Like if my child wakes up in the middle of the night, I will go make you a 5-course meal if you want it.
Have a snack before dinner. Like that was the one thing I loved. My mom was never like, you have to eat this or you can't
Mm-hmm.
eat that. And that's why I think I have a good, like growing up, I never really had a bad relationship with food. I never
Right.
was like, oh, I can't have that or like I can't eat that. Like I literally
Mhm.
would have like donuts for breakfast and like
Right.
anything I wanted, she was like, what are you in the mood for? Like we would
Mhm.
just have and like
Like you have an input on it.
yeah, I could be like, oh, I don't want to eat that or like I don't like that and I would have something else.
Because that's the other thing too, is like it's such a fine line to walk where it's like at some point you do kind of have to be like, okay, well, I can't cater to your every need. Like I can't like, make you a full course meal, but like a podcast that I listened to, the girl has 4 kids and she's like, I just know my kids all eat so differently. So like say we have Mexican one night and like they're making it. She's like, I know that one of my kids will eat like a bean and cheese burrito. I know my other kid will eat like a cheese quesadilla. Like she gives them options based on like the ingredients that she's already cooking.
Like that, yeah, you can make so many different things
Yeah.
with
So yeah, let us know what you think. If you want like a traditional wedding, if you want a traditional like nuclear family setting, and let us know if you think we're absolute fucking bitches for thinking like this.
yeah, our personal opinion at the end of the day, so don't take it too seriously. If you've been dreaming of like your wedding and
Love
like
that for you.
whatever,
It's just never been my.
no. I think it's the same thing of like going pick out rings together or like not.
Mhm.
Like I don't want to do that.
And I do.
And I want to be like surprised, but you do. And
Mhm.
like you want what you want and that's
Like, I wanna
okay
be,
too.
like,
I think a lot
involved.
more people are doing that.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's like literally to each their own.
Mhm.
Whatever.
But I just feel like we live in a world slash like a country specifically that expects like, okay, you graduate high school, you go to college, you get a job, you get married, you have a baby, you raise your kids, you retire, and like that's it. And like I've already fucked up like 5 of those steps. So like and I just have never wanted to like traditionally follow it. But even then, that was something else we were gonna talk about was like the difference of growing up in America and like growing up not in America. Like we had very different experiences like as children. Like for me, it was so normal to like drive down the street and like go to McDonald's. And like you had never heard of that before you moved here.
Oh yeah, no, there was no fast food where I
Mhm.
lived in the Ukraine at least.
Mhm.
Like in like the big cities and
Yeah.
everything, there were obviously like some places and like they had a McDonald's because I remember getting it at the Ukrainian airport in Kiev when I was like 12 the last time. But yeah, there was like no, I mean, Europe is just superior overall, is my opinion.
Same.
Like they really value their health, they
Mhm.
value like family time and like quality of life. Like it's
Mhm.
very not corporate and
They
so
don't live to
structured.
work.
They don't live by that, like you have to go to college. Like most people
Mhm.
where I lived don't go to college because like can't afford it. Like
Right.
I lived, we did not have like the lavish things like I
No.
did when I moved to America. Like we didn't drive cars. We
Mhm.
literally walked everywhere.
Yeah.
You walk, you bike, you like make every single meal at home.
Mhm.
I think I only went out to eat for lunch or dinner like a handful of times as a kid because like we
Mhm.
just like didn't like do that. I don't know. It's
See,
like so different.
I even had a different experience with that because somebody in my family owned a restaurant. So like it was just so normal for us to like get pizza like multiple times a week because it's like a pizza place, but like it's just so crazy how different like priorities are because even hearing like where we live in Charleston right now, it's impossible to not get places via car. Like there's not enough around us to like not be able to drive places or to like bike places. You're biking like 15 miles to like get to Charleston. Like it's just not we're just like so industrialized. Like it's not like that in other places. And I mean, I can only speak on Italy because it's the only place I've been outside of the US, but like even there, like it was so normal. I think I was 15 when I was there. It was so normal for them to just like hand me a glass of wine at dinner because it's alcohol specifically in the US is like abused. And in other places, it's like a delicacy. Like it's not something that you like drink to black out the way that you do here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is in Ukraine. Like everyone, my mom's like, people would literally shun me if they knew that like as a baby I took a little red wine. I'd like put it right here,
Yeah.
like not like giving me red wine, but like literally the tiniest bit,
Yeah.
like, and you would sleep
Yeah.
because it. But
It's like
now everyone's
NyQuil.
giving like their kids melatonin and all this shit, and
Oh,
it's like,
Ritalin, Adderall, like
yes,
shoving all this shit
everything.
at them.
That's the other thing too is like so much of that contributes to why people are over medicating, not just kids, but ourselves too. Like we joke about it all the time, but like red dye 40. Like parents actually see a difference when they cut that out of their kids' diet. Like they're not as like rowdy and rambunctious and like ADHD symptoms aren't as like heavily influenced, but like in America, the first instinct or like the first step that they take to correcting something like that is to just like shove a prescription at you.
1,000%.
And that's just like your way. It was like more like homeopathic.
Oh yeah,
Is that what it's called?
everything's homeopathic. I never took medicine as a kid.
Like
We
natural
never,
remedies.
yeah, because being sick was like very rare, but if you were sick, it was like we're literally gonna make our own chicken noodle soup from scratch. We're gonna
Yeah,
like make this like turmeric ginger lemon
that is
concoctions. Like,
not
and I
here.
won't lie, yeah, there is certain instances where you're like, oh my God, I just need a Tylenol, or like I have the worst
100%.
cold right now and I need to just like take something. And I'm not like fully against that. Like I take
No,
Tylenol, I literally take
literally just a
medicine.
careful listening.
Yeah, like I'll take medicine at this point, but like my uncle has never ever taken
Mhm.
medicine. To this day, he's like 40 something, has never taken medicine for anything,
That's insane.
which is crazy. Isn't it like that
It's
weird to
weird to
think
think
about?
about.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
never ever, and he's so healthy, has his own garden. Like you should see, I have to show you like the photos that they send me in our like Telegram
Mhm.
because like I think I'm like cool starting a little garden in
Yeah,
the backyard. Like we have little things like it is fucking huge. Like it
it's
goes for like,
insane.
and I remember like helping him garden. Like we were learning things like that, and like we were gardening and like making our own vegetables, and I don't know, it was just like so different. It was like a wicked big culture shock when we got here that
Yeah, I
like
can only
I brought all
imagine.
my own lunch and like my own food, and everyone was getting like chicken nuggets, and it's
Mhm.
like so funny. It's such a difference, but that's different cultures. Like that's
Yeah.
how it is. Like we would take buses everywhere that we had to go to. Like buses
Mhm.
were very like normal, and now I'm like it would be so weird to like get on a bus to go
Yeah.
somewhere. It's just so used to driving cars.
Right.
We take like buses, and at holidays, like we were as kids allowed to have like a little bit of champagne,
Mhm.
or we had like non-alcoholic champagne, but we were always involved like as kids
Yeah.
in celebrations and holidays. So like we never felt the need to be like, let's go crazy, like let's drink, because
Right.
like we could under
Mhm.
supervision.
Right.
Like literally one little half glass. It wasn't like, okay, you guys can get drunk here with us.
For
Like that would
sure.
be irresponsible.
Right.
But like
But it's
we were
not
allowed to have a
something
little bit, so it's not
right
just like we would take
to go
advantage of that.
wild. Right.
That's like, I mean, growing up, I didn't have like the strictest parents. Like I was not, my mom was never like hiding alcohol from us and whatever. Like I and my older sister both, under the supervision of my mom, drank alcohol before we were 21. But I also think that that contributes a lot to why when I went to college, it wasn't like I need to go like party and like black out every weekend and try all of these different drugs because like it was introduced to me in a way that was like this is okay when you use it like in moderation and not like for abusing it and like, you know, numbing your problems and whatever. Like it's something that can like help you have a little bit more fun. But it's also like Americans, like this country just like takes everything so fucking far. Like, have you ever had like Rumplemans? Like the liquor, it's like 100 proof. Like there's literally no reason. It's like moonshine, basically. Like there's just no reason that something like that needs to exist. And it does. And that's like so many people are just like every single night, like ripping a shot of it, which like no judgment, that's fine. Like I love wine, you know what I mean? Like a glass, whatever. But like we just like take everything so far. It's even like, have you ever seen like Super Size Me? Like That's not normal. Like a normal portion size, a normal like alcohol serving size.
Bigger.
Yes.
Everything's supersized.
Everything's bigger in Texas, baby.
Yeah, especially in Texas.
I know. Our literally the chicken sandwich we had the other day was like a soccer ball. It's like, oh
That's
my
so
god.
true though. Like portion sizes, the way that like health is like not prioritized
At all.
And if you like talk about that, like you're like, oh my god, you're fat shaming, or like,
Or people are like, okay, like you go to the gym, we
Yeah.
get it. Like
it's
that
like
should
looked down
be-
on if you're trying to
yes.
like be healthy, or if you're trying to work out,
100%.
you're trying to like eliminate like bad products in your home or whatever. People
They're
like
like,
are like,
oh,
oh,
okay.
okay, snob, like, oh,
Yeah.
it must be nice. Not everyone can afford to do that. And it's like could be the littlest things, like the simplest things where
Mhm.
you're not even buying more things. Like I make my own fucking spray cleaner with vinegar and hot water. Like I'm not buying like expensive shit to be able to
Right.
change my lifestyle. You
Or,
don't
like-
have to buy things to change your lifestyle. Like go
No.
out on a walk. Like that's already improving everything for you.
Mhm.
You're gonna get better sleep, go to bed earlier. Like it's little things that don't cost
Yeah.
money. So it's like, why are you giving people shit for wanting to be healthier? But America's so unhealthy. It's like actually really scary.
It's
Like
horrifying.
compared to Europe and how they live over there and like
Mhm.
prioritize themselves.
And like, don't get me wrong, I love it here. I love that we have access to a lot of these things, but even like when I first started working in the fitness industry, like it really had to change my lifestyle because I went from bartending where it's like normalized to like black out on your shift and like not go to sleep until 5 a.m. And like so many of my friends or like people around me would be like, do you want to go out today? And I'm like, I can't. Like, I literally have to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to work. And they're like, oh, that's so lame. And I'm like, are you joking? Like, my job is the fucking coolest. Like, I get to go in there and like help these people make better choices and like change their life. Like, the fact that you're looking at that as something that makes me lame for like having to go to bed at 8 p.m., like, that's
Yeah, and you're just going to bed at 4. Like our life is not this.
yeah, like it's and like that was the weirdest switch too, like going from like what I feel like is one of the most unhealthy industries to be in to one of like the healthiest to be in. Like that was a wild switch. But even going back to like little things that you can do, we both make like almond and oat milk. And like people don't realize how easy that is.
Not expensive.
And all you literally, it is. Like oat milk, you literally blend the oats with water, put a little like vanilla or like maple syrup and a little salt and strain out the oats. Like that's oat milk. That's what you're paying $5 like for the half gallon for. But like even then, like if you look at the ingredients and like Silk, like oat milk or whatever the brands are, or Oatly, like preservatives and like extra like gums and shit that like don't need to be in there, but like you can literally do that at home. Like there's so many things that you can take upon yourself to make choices. But again, like that all also, I think a lot of people in America are set up for failure with that. Like I didn't know so much about being healthy until I became an adult. Like it's nothing that we're taught in school. It's nothing that like if your parents were into that, like where else do you learn it from?
Yeah. Like my mom was always into it, my grandma, because that's how I grew up. Like everything was cooked at home. There was no preservatives in the things we were buying. Like Europe isn't like that. Like
Right.
they aren't making profiting off of you being sick. Like it's so different here. And like I know America's made out to be like the best country, and
Which, like, yeah, there's parts of it
yeah,
that
there
are
is
for sure.
very free. We don't have a war
Yeah.
going on like Ukraine. Like completely
Pros and
understand that
cons.
aspect of it. Like so grateful that I even get to be here. Like
Mhm.
I feel guilty sometimes that I'm even here and like they're over
Talking shit
there.
about it, yeah.
Right. But it's just the lifestyle and like the
Like food isn't meant to be like on a shelf for like months and months and months. Like something you're putting in your body should not be able to like survive in a jar on a shelf unrefrigerated for months. Like that's so weird.
but like I still love my ramen noodles. And like we've talked about this though before. We're like,
Do we go make our ramen?
right?
Again, not to like sound like we're just talking a ton of shit about everything. It's just our experiences. Like even growing up, we had very different experiences and like I think we both take a lot from how we grew up and know like what we would and wouldn't want to do for our own children.
Yeah.
But then that brings us back to like, do we even want
Right.
kids?
To bring them into that kind of world and
Yeah.
the global warming and oh my
Mhm.
god. Yeah, I'm not trying to be like so negative and talking
No,
shit.
no.
There's a lot of positives. Like we get like healthcare here and
Yeah.
not free like Europe. But like
But it's hard. It's just very different. Do anything right. Because who even knows? Literally everything we just talked about, like, there is no right or wrong.
No.
And we could literally change our minds tomorrow.
It's just our opinion.
Mhm. It's my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
So let us know what your opinion is.
Yeah, let us know.
Thanks for listening to us,
Love you.
bitch. Love you so much. We'll see you in the next
I hope
episode.
you liked this in-person episode.
I
with us
know,
all
weird.
cozy. I need to take a
We're
nap.
sitting
No, literally, I'm about to just like shut these phones off, shut the computer off, pull the blind down, and take a nap. Good night.